Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Mad Trippin'. Today I'm going to take a look at the famous Metrocenter Mall, which is absolutely no more. Although the mall is still there, pretty much every store that was inside is closed. They have a Dillard's clearance store right now, and that's even closing. But today I'm going to give you a full tour of the exterior of the mall, let you know what's going on. They planned some big changes for Metrocenter down here. It's going to be a storefront with a bunch of apartments and townhomes and stuff like that. Latest I heard, that's what they're planning on doing for the redevelopment. Today is Wednesday, April 5th, 2023. It is 58 degrees on this beautiful sunny afternoon here in Phoenix, Arizona, and it is 1:38 p.m. Are you ready? Let's start tripping. You can see that this area is new right here. This is the light rail expansion. It's going to be a hub. Look how they built up this bridge here that comes right into the main Metrocenter entrance there. This would be considered the east side entrance. If you remember going to Metrocenter Mall, over here is the Dillard store that is closing, and then that would be the Sears store right over there in the corner there. That has been closed a long time. This is an area here in Phoenix where a lot of us kids spent our time growing up. Malls were big back in the 80s and early 90s. We still have a couple out here that are running pretty well over in Arrowhead and Fashion Square. But the Metrocenter Mall and the PV Mall are going under some refurbishments. Today we're going to take a look at Metrocenter Mall. Like I said, there's the old Dillard's store. We are on the east end of the property. You can see that they're building that light rail system. They're moving pretty far along there. I think this is going to be a hub. The light rail is coming in between Dunlap and Peoria Avenues. You can see that they have a parking garage where you can park and ride, and then an elevated platform on top for the light rail. That is the old east entrance into Metrocenter Mall. It is all boarded up. Over on this side is the Dillard's store that is finally closing. It's been years. Used to walk up this little stairwell right here, little pathway. There's another kind of a stairwell. It's old and kind of torn up right now, but we're gonna go on the other side of the mall and take a look at it. And like I said, that was the old Sears store right there. If you take a look over here where that Harbor Seafood Super Buffet is, that used to be a Peter Piper Pizza with a big old arcade. Used to love going inside there. This is the Phoenix Public Library. It's been there for quite a while now. It was kind of new at the time. It has these mirrors inside there that adjust during the day to let the sunlight in. Right next to the library over there is where I'm actually going to head to first. That used to be a movie theater, so let's go check it out. That area over there was the Sears department store, and that was a pretty big department store, 2 levels. And that's kind of the northeast entrance right there, or I guess that would be the north entrance. There's the light rail hub over there that we were just taking a look at. There's the seafood buffet that used to be the Peter Piper. Here is that beautiful public library there. I should take a tour of that when I get a chance. But if you remember, you come off of Peoria Avenue right there. Sorry about the wind, but you come off of Peoria Avenue right there. There were some stores right there. I do believe there was a Supercuts in there at the time. Of course, T-Mobile wasn't around because we didn't have cell phones when I was a teenager. And a kid growing up here. We had beepers, remember beepers? Pagers. So this area right here that's undeveloped used to have a movie theater on it, believe it or not. I can't believe that it had a movie theater there. It doesn't look that big, like it would have some big screens. I remember they had a couple small screens, but it seems like they did have a big screen or two there. They have it fenced off. They look like they're getting ready to do some developing around here, although it's been like this for quite a while. I want to say this used to be a United Artists, but I'm not absolutely sure about that because they had 3 movie theaters here at one time. They had this one, and then if you remember across the area over there as you're coming in off of Peoria, there was another movie theater over there with a comic book store connected right to it. I used to love that place. But here's the vacant lot where the movie theater used to sit. I have seen many movies here. One of my favorite ones as a kid, if I go back and watch it now, it's probably pretty stupid. But it was the Barbarian Brothers. I remember seeing that movie here. I think we walked out of Aliens 3 when it was playing here. It was so boring at the time. I love the movie now, but at the time as a young teenager, we walked out of it. It was just kind of boring us. I think it had more to do with that it was a really small theater. What they did here was they cut the theaters in half, so they had a big theater, and then to add more theaters to the complex, they split one big movie theater in half, and it was so small. I think that really kind of disappointed me, especially when I was going to see a big movie like Aliens 3. You wanted it to be on that big screen and not some small screen. But again, I can't believe they actually fit movie theaters here. That amazes me. It's really not that big of a lot. The buildings used to come out to right about here though, so I don't know if this was a new pad that they're putting in and then just stopped work, stopped construction. The old building came out to right about here somewhere. There wasn't much to park here. You could drop somebody off, or maybe there was a few parking spots in front, but you mostly had to park out in this area over here. But definitely brings back some memories seeing this. I'm assuming these buildings here were built later. It looks like a DoubleTree right now. That building's been there for at least 20 years, I would assume. But there's the old area where the movie theater used to sit. You come in right off of Peoria Road right here and head right into this entrance here. And this is the Sears entrance into Metrocenter Mall. This was all the Sears store right here. Over there was the Sears Automotive that is all boarded up, but I used to park right in here. I would walk into the Sears store here and get my clothes for the school year. Right down here was this huge loading dock. Look at this. I think that is absolutely cool looking. You could film a movie here. Absolutely be able to film a movie here. Walking Dead. Something like that. That'd make a beautiful scene. I just know it. But this would be the main entrance to the Sears. You can see that it is all boarded up right now. This was the merchandise pickup here. This is where you would come and pick up your merchandise that you just bought. Looks like somebody tried to break in. That's not good. So you would order your merchandise and you could pick it up right there. It's definitely falling apart. It needs a remodel, refurbishment. This is such a nice area. I hope they don't let it go to crapola. You can see that they have the front doors all boarded up. This is where you go inside. You definitely see there's some damage there. People throwing rocks in the window. Cobwebs up. It's been abandoned for a while. And this area over here is where you drop off your lawnmowers, stuff like that, to be fixed. Can you get a look inside? They still have the GE signs up from Sears. Yeah, that's it. Little service counter, good parts, stuff like that. Then you come around here. Now we're looking west. This would be the west side of the property of Metrocenter. I'm sure you can all remember this. People who have walked this area before can remember this hallway. Sorry about the wind. It's been windy the past couple of days here in Arizona. Used to be some benches out here when you would come out the side doors. Not these doors right here. I believe the doors. See where that cigarette pit is right down there. That's where you would come out. There was a bench there that you could sit at, and then that building right there that you see, that would be another main entrance. So we're going to drive over to there next. Look at these old security cameras, how big they were back then. This would be considered the west entrance of Metrocenter, which I admittedly did not use that much. It is on the northwest side of the property. That is the Sears building over there that I was talking about. There's the entrance where they had the bench outside where you could sit. It's kind of sad not seeing any cars in the parking lot. This was once a bustling mall. This parking lot would have been filled. Even on a Wednesday, this time of the day, on a school day, you'd still had a lot of cars out here, people going to the mall. Nothing going on in this side right here. There is some businesses still operating out of the mall area here. This Life Storage here, they kind of tore down some areas and rebuilt those walls right there. Did an absolutely beautiful job to it. It's a nice looking building for Life Storage there. There's a security company that works out of this part of the mall right here. But other than that, the mall is pretty much abandoned. I think there's a U-Haul store on the other side. We'll check out once we get there. The stores on the other side of the main circle area there have changed through the years. There used to be a Best Buy over there. That's moved. Used to be a Circuit City on the other side by Golf and Stuff, which is now Castles and Coasters, which Castles and Coasters is still there. So Golf and Stuff, which is now called Castles and Coasters, they changed that name, I believe, back in the early 90s. But for us original OGs, it's called Golf and Stuff still. But this is the stairwell, excuse me, this is the pathway that we took a lot as kids walking around the mall, cruising it as a teenager. You can see it's definitely falling apart right now. It needs some work on those railroad ties and stuff like that. I don't know if this is a brand new building or if they just, believe this was an old Macy's or something. If I remember right, it's hard to remember on this side. I don't know if they tore down the building and totally rebuilt it or just front face covered it, but it's absolutely beautiful looking. It's huge. Nice little storage area. But you would come from Sears, walk around the outside on a nice, beautiful day like this especially. And you'd come up these stairs, right up here. It was a nice walk to walk around the mall, I gotta admit. Kind of miss these days. And this was probably one of the main entrances that we used. Let's see. I did remember that elevator. So this was so when they redid the building, they kept the old elevator there. That's kind of iconic with the glass windows. And that was I'm trying to remember the name of the business that was there. Goldwater's, I believe, or Robinson's May. Can't remember which one it is offhand. The Harkins Theater is still operating here. This would be your southwest entrance. And now where the life storage is, again, that was a Robinson's May or a Goldwater store. I can't remember. Definitely wasn't the Macy's. I believe the Macy's is where they built the Walmart. That used to be a Macy's, but Macy's came later on. Back in the 2000s, they were trying to revitalize the mall, so they put in a Macy's and it just didn't work. People were not flocking to this mall as much. Where the Harkins is, that used to be an ice skating ring, so you go in that entrance right there. They used to have a nice arcade, a big old ice skating ring underground, and that would be the food court area, so that was a big major entrance for here. Plus, it's right off the hub for the bus depot right over there. And again, this parking lot used to be filled. Right now, there is a line to get into some movie right now playing at Harkins. So the Harkins Theater is still there. I would assume if they're going to develop this into a condominiums and shops, that they would just leave the Harkins Theater there. But that was we'll go take a look at it. That was the main entrance there for the food court, arcade, and what used to be a skating rink back in the 80s. Just a fun little side note, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure was filmed here when they were at the mall. That was actually this mall, Metrocenter Mall. So if you go back and watch Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, when they go to the mall, that is Metrocenter Mall, our very own mall right here. Now the bus depot has been there for quite a while. It wasn't originally there when I was a kid. They definitely built it up probably late 80s, early 90s. Over there is where they moved the Peter Piper Pizza to. I don't know if you can see it right there in the middle of our screen. There used to be, I believe, the Best Buy was the best, yes, over there. See that building over there all lonesome? That was the Best Buy building. Keep going left down that road and that'll take you to the Castles and Coasters. But that's what you did as a kid or a teenager. As a kid, you'd have your parents drop you off at the mall. Or a teenager, you might be able to drive yourself. You didn't have to have a lot of money. You could have a couple of dollars, maybe go see a movie, go to the food court, get something to eat, and just hang and cruise. And on beautiful days like this, when it wasn't summertime and 115 degrees out, you come down this little walkway here and just walk around the mall. And there's a bunch of people in line. I was wondering what they're in line for, and I see somebody kind of dressed as, looks like Luigi over there, so I'm guessing they're in line for the Super Mario movie. So this is another entrance off to the west. I love when they remodeled this. That must have been in the early 90s. It actually still looks pretty good up there. The Metrocenter logo. It's obviously all closed up. So this is the south side of the mall. You can see Castles and Coasters, the old golf and stuff over there. To my left is going to be Walmart. We're driving along the side of the building here. On the south side of Metrocenter, again, there is the old Castles and Coasters. And that road there would take you across the bridge, over the canal to Dunlap Avenue. We're gonna pull in right over here so we can take a look at the Castles and Coasters and the Walmart that they put in here. Now this part of the mall was definitely tore down and redone for Walmart, and look how big they made it. This is a pretty good size Walmart back here. Not one of the biggest, but it's a pretty good size one. So on the south side of the mall here, as you come in off of Dunlap Avenue, heading into the mall, the first thing you're gonna hit is that Walmart. Then over there, you can kind of see right there is the southeast entrance into the mall. Hardly ever use that entrance either. That right there is probably where the old Goldwater's was, or Robinson's May. I can't remember which two. One or the other. That one had the elevator on it. And then as you turn around here, you come over to Golf and Stuff, which definitely expanded over the years. It was expanding when I was a kid, probably when I was a teenager is when they added all the big rides. They expanded. They were going to build Some more of golf and stuff over in that area. They just left it into a parking lot. I think the plan was to have a roller coaster go over the road and then over into that area of the air to more of the park. When I was a kid, pretty much all they had was the Castles and Coasters building, the golf and stuff building, the castle, and then they had the mini golf in the back, and then this area here was just kind of like a walk around area. They really didn't have the roller coasters or the carousel till I became a teenager, I think late in my teenage years, so probably mid 90s, late 90s. They added the roller coaster, they added this little hub here. They added the sky tower there, the drop tower, and then a log ride, and it actually looks like they've added 1 or 2 more rides to the area there, and then that small little coaster right there. When I was a kid, back in the late 80s, you could only use the main entrance, but they built this side entrance here. I believe this was probably built in the early 90s. I could be wrong about the date of that. But they definitely added on a lot to this. I'm gonna have to go inside and check it out one of these weekends and do a little bit of mini golf. This entrance was here when I was a kid, but the main entrance is right there in the front. You can see that big, I don't know if that is just a play area, a rope bridge for kids to play on. That was not there when I was a kid. So this road isn't widely used right now, but we're gonna go across here. They are building that light rail hub right there, right next door. That used to be a Circuit City, right there where that college is, College of America or something. I love these doors on this castle. I actually love the way they designed the castle. This is very cool. This is an iconic spot in Arizona, I would say so anyways. Beautiful steps going in, beautiful big huge doors to welcome you. They got the fake grass in. The landscaping actually looks pretty nice right now. Let's take a look at the main entrance here. It's been a while since I walked up here. I used to shop at Circuit City quite a bit. I can remember that store's downfall where it just got less and less busy. Prices were awfully high for Circuit City at the time. That was one of the main reasons I had to quit shopping there. I have not played mini golf in so long, I could not tell you what they changed and what they haven't changed. But right here, they added these ticket booths in the late 90s. And this gate and stuff, you didn't have this walkway up. I remember you would just come out the doors and pretty much walk into the parking lot right there. They have a bigger one of these out towards the east, Cracker Jacks or something like that. That's a big old arcade mini golf, bumper cars, all that kind of stuff. They used to have bumper cars here. I do remember that now as a kid. Small little arena for bumper cars. Here's this play area that they added here, the rope type bridge thing. Very cool looking. Kids are gonna love that kind of stuff. It is open right now. There are people in there playing some mini golf, so I like that. There's a good look at the front entrance. Like I said, all this skating stuff, that wasn't here when I was a kid. It was just you walked up to the front door, maybe with a little entrance coming out. I don't even think it was raised up like that. There might have been a ramp that went up to the door. Got the bleachers out here for something. Over there's where the rides are, the roller coasters, and you come in here and this is mini golf. I have not done this mini golf in so long, but just being right here, seeing this old stuff, they definitely added to it. Added more huts and houses. I love mini golf, but I love set decoration. And they do a couple of different sceneries and settings and stuff like that. Look at this one right here with the upside down cone. It's too cool when they can build stuff like that. Little miniatures. The side says U.S. Marshal hangings daily at the Golden Nugget. Make sure I get you a wide shot here. Look at that absolutely beautiful miniatures right there. The old western town. You can play a little golf on the back lot there. They have this beautiful detailing right here, and this is the back of the buildings. This is the parking lot, so you can come up and just take a look. How cool is that? Then you got the mini golf right here, with the old Pueblo right there that you have to shoot into. I'm definitely going to try to come back this weekend and play some mini golf and get a video vlog of it. It's too cool. Being back here definitely brings back some memories, makes me want to come back now. I haven't been to golf and stuff, I'm talking in years since I've been down here. Again, there's the main front entrance to golf and stuff. Absolutely loved this place as a kid. Big old arcade. I don't know if they still do it or not, but inside there was the video game arcade and the food. Just take one last look at golf and stuff. I'm sorry, castles and coasters. All right, we're on our last part of the mall here. Look at that damage up there on that roof. That's been torn out. Maybe they had a leak or something. A couple little pieces torn out at the top there. That is a huge roof. If I remember right, this is the Goldwaters. Am I right? Leave a comment below if you remember coming to Metrocenter Mall. You can't forget this Roman architecture here. It's absolutely beautiful. Another area where you could film a movie. This could definitely be part of some Egyptian or Roman Colosseum there before they tear all this down. It's a U-Haul store now. They've got it fenced off over there, over the old Dillard's where you can't go in. That's the clearance center. It is closing, so you only have a limited time left if you want to get in there and get some good clothes that close out. You can see they're up there working on the light rail bridge up there. They've done a fantastic job. It is huge. They've been working on this for about a year now at least. It's coming along quite well, looking absolutely beautiful. And then it just stops right there. And that's going to be a hub. A little parking ride. We used to cruise this area a lot as teenagers. You get in the car, come on a Friday, Saturday night, late at night when they're closing the mall down. It used to be, they had to close it down because people just leave their trash and stuff when they were cruising around, throw their trash out the window, pull in the parking lots, trash it up. So they had to get the police out here and close it down. But we used to cruise the road that goes around Metrocenter Mall. Used to be a big cruising road. Central Avenue downtown used to be a big cruising road, so they had to close that down. A couple drive-bys, too many fights, too many people. I'm gonna guess the biggest part was there was just unruly crowds leaving a lot of trash around. Business parking lots, a lot of businesses started complaining. Hoping they redo all this. They're wise enough to leave some of the stuff the same. It's iconic. Look at that. Look at this wall tiles here. Why would you want to get rid of that? I mean, it's huge, huge entryway. Absolutely love it. I remember as a kid, of course, I'm half the size. I was half the size that I am now, tall-wise. But I remember as a kid just coming up here and thinking how grandioso this was. So huge, made you felt like a king walking through here. And look at these tiles on this wall. If you're gonna tear it down, man, you need to sell these tiles piece by piece at an auction or something. Ooh, shoot. They're stone, so I don't know if they're tiles. They're actually stone. Look at that. You can see that they're pretty thick tiles, pretty thick stone tiles. They're absolutely beautiful. Reminds me something out of an Egyptian Roman movie back in the day, back in the what, 40s and 50s. Like I said, now it's a U-Haul store. Definitely brings back a lot of memories. The memories will start flowing in. I'll start remembering more and more stuff as I get home here. I'm thinking back as I'm editing and looking back on this video. Things do change, progress moves forward. It is kind of sad though, a little disheartening to see your childhood places of memories just fall to waste. So I hope the new development comes in and takes into consideration some of the iconic features that this mall has and leave them there. Now, if I was a developer, what I would try to do, I would definitely try to leave this the same. Make this some type of a big entrance for a Starbucks or something if you're gonna have shops on the outside. But if I were a developer and I had the money and not putting a lot of real thought into it, because you don't know once you get inside, it might be so bad in there that the whole place has to be just demolished. I don't know that looking just from the outside. But what I would try to do is make these storefronts out here with the homes up on top. I love when they do that. I think that's back east, where you'll have the storefronts on the bottom and the homes up on top. You could do that all the way around the mall. That would be so cool. People come in and still go shopping, and then on the back side, inside the mall area, you could have a private park for the people that live here or something. And just have all the stores out on the front, and this could be your main entrance. You could decorate these pillars up to theme it in Roman or Egyptian or something that would be iconic to make people come here just to get their selfies. And when they're getting their selfies, they're going to spend a little bit of money on a coffee or a bagel or a souvenir or something. And for now, I'm just going to do a full drive around Metrocenter Mall. there's Metrocenter Mall out that way on the other side of the Red Robin. You can see that this is coming in off of Peoria Avenue, heading to Metro Center. That would be the Sears store. Across the main circle drive here, where that car just pulled in off of that street. This area is all redeveloped. I hardly even recognize it. I believe the movie theater was right about here somewhere, right in this area here, before they tore down the buildings and redid them. And what you had to do is there was like an alleyway between the two buildings with shops on each side, and the movie theater was on the one side, the comic book store was on the other. It might have been over here where the vitamin shop is. I might even be standing right in the area where you'd be walking through. You can see they built up all these new buildings here, and these were built in the, I believe, early 90s, late 90s, when they tore down the movie theater and put up all these buildings. But it is so different right now, it's hard for me to judge. I'm thinking this is the building area right here, where they pretty much moved the front-facing part of the stores on the outside instead of the inside, and where that Ross is. I think you used to be able to walk through there in between the two buildings. But again, it could have been over here. I really can't remember that well. Could have been this area over here. But there was definitely a movie theater in here, and I remember seeing Backdraft, having to stand in line for the movie Backdraft back in the day. So that should tell you at least when the movie theater was here. Right now I need to go over to Big 5 Sporting Goods so I can get my park passes for Bartlett Lake. So when I go out to an area, I like to contribute a little bit of money to the area I'm going to film for the day. So I went to Supercuts and got a haircut, stopped in the GameStop and got these two Star Wars figures here that were on sale. Pretty good price for them, especially at GameStop. So I spent a little money supporting my community and getting some things that I collect there. Got the two Star Wars figures here, both from The Mandalorian. You have Greef Karga and Quill. I think that's how you say his name. I don't really like the new retro ones that kind of make it look like they were made back in the late 70s, early 80s there. Although Quill makes a pretty neat little action figure as retro, I will admit. But I like the details in the newer versions of the Star Wars figures that they have. $8.97 for that one and $5 for that one, $5.97. You can't beat those prices. Those are pretty good prices for Star Wars figures right now. The $5 was the original price. Shoot, what, 10 years ago you could buy Star Wars figures for $5? Now they're $10 and above, which is a bit crazy. But again, when I go out and about to certain areas that I film, I like to throw a little bit of money into the community. If I had more, I'd spend more. And now I'm going to walk into the Big 5 Sporting Goods store here and see if they have my parking passes for Bartlett Lake. So they should have the parking passes at the sporting goods store. I'm hoping they do. Most sporting goods stores do. Some Walmarts do when they sell them at the, where they sell the sporting goods department, where they sell the hunting and fishing license. If they still sell them, they should usually have those park passes. Some of the Walmarts, they don't have them. You can get them at the ranger station when you first pull into Bartlett Lake and at the marina, but sometimes they're sold out there, so I like to get it ahead of time so I know for sure that I have it. So let's go into Big 5 here and see if they have them. All right, awesome. They did have them here at the Big 5 Sporting Goods store. You can see that they're right here. They are a light blue color this year. They go up to the year 2024, so from 2021 to 2024. I do believe the ones I have are darker blue. Mine ended in this year, 2023. They are a little bit lighter in color this year. You can see that the one on the left is a little bit darker, and that one ends in this year, 2023. The one on the right ends in 2024, next year. So they must have started printing these up in 2021, and these were printed in 2020. And what you do is you scratch the time that you arrived, AM or PM, you scratch that off, the time of day that you arrived, the year that you're using it in, the month, and the day. Pretty simple, and you stick it up on the top of your dash right there. I now have 3 of them, one left over from last year because I didn't stay as long as I thought I was going to. I put those in the glove box so I make sure not to forget them on my trip. And just so you're aware, they are $8 a piece, which brought my grand total to, if I bought 3, I actually only bought 2 because I had one left over from last year. Being $8 a piece, $16 I spent today, plus the one from last year. It was $8 at the time. So I spent a total of $24 just to park down at Bartlett Lake, down at Riverside Campground, and use the facilities. Now, I actually don't mind spending that kind of money. I figured $24 to camp down there for 3 nights is absolutely fine with me. They do use that money to keep the place looking nice, pick up the trash and stuff like that. And I've always gone down there, and it's always usually been pretty clean for the most part. Like I said in last year's video, sometimes we've gone down there. We always go down after Easter, so you can expect that it might be a little bit dirty after you get down there. We would go down on a Tuesday. Maybe they didn't have time to get down there and clean or something, or they were short-staffed. I'm sure they're short-staffed now. That seems to be going around with a lot of companies. I said in the video last year, we went down there one year back when I had the bar crowd, the Stinger crowd, and we went down there and we filled up like 10 trash bags full of, not just trash, but, you know, we had to kind of clean up some grass in the camping areas where we were going to lay tents and stuff like that. But there was a lot of trash down there from the Easter celebration from the weekend before. We were down there on Tuesday. Since we were down there anyways, and you're not really doing anything down there anyways, And we like to keep the place looking better. What's the old phrase? Leave it better than when you found it. That was kind of our motto when we go camping. And we had a good sized crew down there and a good bunch of people. So we just cleaned up the area, made it look real nice. So in total for what I spent in the area today, as I go out and film this video, like I said, I like to spend a little bit of money in the area that I'm filming, give back to the community a little bit, the community that you're in at the time. So I spent $40 on gas, $4 on some Powerball tickets, $8 for lunch, $25 on a haircut, about $16 on some Star Wars figures, and $16 for the park passes for Bartlett Lake. So that's a grand total of $109. Well, that will do it for this episode. Thanks for watching. You are greatly appreciated. Have a great rest of your day and a better tomorrow. Please click that subscribe button, trip over that like button, and remember, never stop tripping.